Yes, hello colleagues. Welcome from my side. So as you heard, so we are representing Program Digital Core, which is BSH standing for the program transforming from R3 system to S4HANA system. And my role is mainly focused on the factory implementation, and I will give you more information on that. But before, I'll just shortly give you short information about the BSH company, because the BSH letters maybe are not familiar to all of you, but we are representing one of the biggest home appliance producers in the world. Also, we give you some more details about the transformation, how our approach is defined in BSH to implement S4HANA. We also give you more details on the agile approach in our program, and some more details about the factory implementation, what is the current status, and how we are implementing S4HANA in BSH. So starting with BSH, short information about the company. So we are leading producers in Europe for home appliances. We provide products in a wide range, from washing machines, dishwashers, cooling appliances, dish care. We also have in our portfolio small appliances like handsets, and different small products also you can find in many of your homes in your kitchen. And we produce for different brands, for like Bosch, Siemens, Gaggenau, Neff. This is the common world brands that we produce, but also we have some regional brands also for specific markets, like, for example, US, we have a brand Thermador, and also for specific regions we also have some dedicated brands. What more information we can share? We are number one in Europe in home appliance market. With the year 2022, we had a turnover of 15.9 billion euros. We have 63,000 employees worldwide in our BSH locations, including students, working students. At the moment, we have 39 production sites, and additionally, we are building 2 additional factories at the moment. We put a lot of money for investments. You can see 3.9% of our turnover is dedicated to investments. Also, one of the 2 factories that we are currently building, also in total budget of 22 was 600 million euros, more than 600 million euros was dedicated to investments. The 2 factories will be in Mexico and Egypt. And also a lot of investments is also put on our product development itself, with a big focus on digitalization and innovation of our products. Some examples of our products. On the left side you can see the smart dry approach, so you can have a always connection with our products with some dedicated applications. Also the products that we deliver, they also communicate with each other. So one example is the washing machine can send data to the dryers, and then the dryer can adjust the right program to know what will be the best program to get the best performance out of the washing and dryer. Also, we have a product which is called Cookit. It's a Bosch product. Also compared to our competitors, this product has some benefits. For example, the temperature you can set up to 200 degrees Celsius, and also also the product has much wider surface that you can even use it for cooking a steak. And you have a lot of numbers of different applications and recipes you can download to the product and use it. Another example of the smart appliance that we provide is Smart Kitchen Dock from Siemens. This product you can integrate with our home appliance, but also with your security system, for example, from Siemens, that you can use in one product for different usage. And also you can use your gesture and voice control for using it. I will hand over to Eda.
Thank you so much, Piotr. My name is Eda Kahraman. I am the S4HANA Program Manager in BSH from IT side. I'm going to tell you about our vision in S4HANA transformation in SAC. This is our vision. So in the middle of the screen, you see it is very nicely illustrated where we are coming and where we are heading to. We are actually coming from a transactional enterprise, which is designed for the needs of 20 years back. And now with the S/4HANA transformation, we would like to end up with an intelligent enterprise by using the modern technology of S/4HANA. So again, where we are coming from, where we are heading to, all the elements on the left side and right side. So we are coming from a data capturing and highly manual processing, manual processes. And we want to change it. We want to make use of S/4HANA by changing and improving our processes with the automation. And very good example for that is actually Material Ledger, which is gathering all the information in the background for us. And in the next step, we will be doing, instead of data analysis by human intuition, we would like to use the modern technologies, data mining, artificial intelligence, where we have collected in the first step. So we want to make use of all these big data and turn into meaningful information for our business. So next one, we have at the moment a segregated system landscape. We have 6 production systems across the world, across BSH entities, and 1 master data system. And on top of that, we have BW analytics systems. We have very segregated, and we want to make use of S/4HANA with the single source of truth. So we want to use those data, all these data and information in the first 2 steps, and provide all our businesses one single source of truth. And next one is reporting. So if you look at our segregated system landscape, our business is not able to reach the same data, identical data at any time. So in financial systems, they can get the updates monthly or daily, monthly or weekly. But in the ERP systems, they can get it instantly. So by using S/4HANA, we want to change it. So we would like to provide our users to reach any data, anytime, with the same level, with the same result. And last but not least, which is forecasting and business planning processes. We want to automate it without involving key users. We want that system is doing it automatically for our business. So on the bottom of the screen, you see very nicely, we want to come from paper maps to Google Maps. So we want to transform in this way. And how do we transform it? Actually, in such a big program, we have 2 options to tackle with the transformation. First of all is the greenfield approach. I think everyone knows, making everything from scratch. And the other one is brownfield approach, which is preserving what we have at the moment, not really making so many changes, just migration. What we want to have is something else, which is combination of both. So we want to make use of some R3 solutions, which are good already. So we want to take them over. We also want to use substandard functionalities and use them directly in the system without so many efforts. And the way how we do it is the agile approach. Why agile and how we do it, I'm going to tell you in a sec. So in this program, we are actually perceiving a high standardization. What does it mean? We want to be more on the right side, which is 100% standard and not really feasible in this world, because world is fastly changing. We call it VUCA world, which is standing for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. In such a complex and changing world, VUCA gravity is actually pulling us away from the standard. And we need to respond to it. So we need to catch it up. And how we do it incrementally. That means we are not directly creating a big template for our company across all the processes. We did 1 pilot in Switzerland. And we use standard functionalities. We as well used some new improved solutions coming from R3. Of course, adapted to S/4HANA. And we are adding up to that incrementally with the program increments, which is like 3 months in the loop. And in this program, we have two different roadmaps. We have one a capability roadmap, and the other one is rolling roadmap. And within the organization, there are different responsibilities. On the capability roadmap, in the capability roadmap, mainly central IT department is working on. While they are doing new capabilities, our rolling teams are doing the rollouts in the countries, and we have it parallelized. So that means we are doing industrialized rollout for our factories, sales, and service entities. So organizational-wise, this is the business perspective, but we have a mirror organization in IT. In the program, we have in the middle so-called business program engineers. They are the gatekeepers for the standardization and the template. And in the middle, we have the rolling process owners, which are directly connected and incorporating with the rolling units. And there is as well rolling unit, who is receiving the new technology and S/4HANA. And as said, we have as well here mirror organization in IT. They are exactly the same. And the IT organization on global, they are doing the new features, creating new features, and rolling team is doing the customizing for the template, and rolling units, which is receiving, testing, and validating the result. And here we have the rolling team setup. So as I said, we have the industrialized rollout procedure in the sales and service entities. We have in total 4 different rolling teams, and they are running in parallel. Of course, durations are differentiating, but they are running in parallel. And we have the same for factory, and we will be soon 4 teams with the factory. So we have done our template implementation in one of our cooking factory in Trondheim in Germany. And right now we have 8 different factories rolling out S/4HANA. With the template, mostly with the template. Then from next year on, we will be going into US, India, and some other countries. This is basically all from my side, so I hand over to Piotr now.
All right. So the last topic we like to share is about some more details about the rollout procedure, how we implement the next factories, and also some more details about the migration, testing, and main changes that we implement with S/4HANA for the factory environment. So as Eda mentioned, we had the first pilot factory in Germany, in Traunreut. We started more or less end of 2019, and it took us 1.5 years to implement the first pilot factory. And from year 21, we started implementation of the next factories. At the moment, we are implementing 6 factories in parallel, plus the 2 additional new factories in Egypt and Mexico. And for the next factories, we follow so-called 6-step model. So this is industrialized rollout procedure that gives us help to have a standardized procedure for each step, also to reduce the time and also standardize the process inside. So we are starting with analyze phase. With each new factory, we are analyzing firstly the processes that the factory needs and compare it to the template factory of pilot factory Traunreut. And we verify with the global experts if there is additional need for any features or any new functionalities that needs to be delivered for the rollout factory. If there is any need discovered, then also it is analyzed with the expert groups so that the new additional development is also capable for the also other factories which also are in our roadmap. The second step is called a build. This is mainly the IT task in this phase. We are starting with the customizing of the system. We are starting also the first pilot, the first test migration for this new factory with their data into the test system. And we are also starting some test automation already here. In the step 3 phase, which is called show and align, we show the first test systems to the key users for the rollout factory, and we check with them if they can already run their processes with this template, with the test data that are coming from their system, but already in the new test system with S4 environment. And also here we are starting also further test automation and change management activities. The step 4 is called test and train. Here is main focus on the test, on the change management, also training the end user by the key users. We also prepare for the go live of the factory, and we do all the final testing of the unit to give the final approval for the go live. And finally, we prepare the go live migration here. The step 5 normally takes around 4 to 5 days, which is the real go live. And after that, we have a hypercare step, the last step, which is around 4 to 5 weeks. And we give intensive support from IT to the rollout unit to ensure there is also a smooth transfer to the go live factory. Some more details about the migration approach. We have 2 different approach for the migration. The basic master data from our free system, from our master data system, is conducted with our internal resources of BSH. So the example for the customers, vendors, appliances, spare parts, this kind of master data is transferred by our internal IT organization. But also we have some system where the factory processes are running. In our case, this is a L0P system with all the transactional data and also some defined objects. In BSH, we defined around 65 objects for factory, where we have our partner SNP, who is providing us the migration support with these objects that we defined together. We also have around 100 custom tables. Also, SNP is providing us the support for migrating of these objects. And for details of the migration for these objects, we have 3 steps. First, we define the data together. We define the tables that will be migrated. We also define together with SNP the migration rules. The second step is execution of the migration, done by mainly SNP with our support. Also, SNP is providing several test scripts to verify the data. And the last step is our internal also verification of the migration. And also we also use our internal test automation for the verification of the data. There's also some more details about our test automation. All the processes we have in BSH, the main processes are defined in the solution documentation. We also define the main production processes there for the factories. We also have several enable now recordings for the main processes. Also, we use it later for training the key users and end users. And also the training documentation is also created from this enable now testing tool from SAP, the standard solution. Later on, for the most important processes, we use so-called T-bombs when we record the structure of the processes. And finally, we use test automation with CBTA approach to verify with every release of SAP, with every change that we deploy, if there are any changes. And then for the changes, we conduct several intensive tests. Yeah, I think it's more detailed that you can see how the solution documentation is organized and T-bomb and enable now recordings. The last topic we want to share is about what is mainly changing with S/4HANA for factory environment. We started, the main changes are starting even before implementing of S/4HANA in the factories. We have a pre-project in BSH, which was a routing standardization. In this pre-project, we analyze our routing structure, and we defined all the activities to have one standard way of having the same definition of the working times, of specifying the routings. And this will help in BSH also the comparison between the different factories, that we can give much more efficient also perspective which factories has the best processes, and we can compare each factory. Also, the confirmation structure in the routings, it was pre-project before we started S4 implementation. We also defined one standard for BSH factories about the control keys to also have the same way during the production process for confirmation of the productions. And also it was one of the finance and controlling requirements to have one standard for the routings. We have also implemented for factories big standard Fiori applications for shop floor production plan, where employees from the production can see which production order is coming on next. They can see much more in details which bombs will be used, which materials will be used for this upcoming production plan, and they can also prepare accordingly the materials which are needed for the next production order. We have implemented also a separate procurement type X, which is also used for BSH to distinguish between internal and external produced products in BSH. We have also introduced pre-production handling process for the pre-series. Before we start the serial production, we can track much more in details the pre-series production and also have the cost much better analyzed and separated. We have also defined with S/4HANA a specific approval process for our internal orders and also orders used for production processes. Now with S/4HANA, we also adjusted our approval workflow. We are using approval workflows based on the structure from BSH org charts, and before it was everything was done manually. We are using now several enabled embedded analytics functions, which also help us better reporting for also production and also other processes. One of the biggest also change for the BSH factories was a replacement of the old functionality of computer-aided manufacturing solutions, which was a really long development from BSH around 20 or 25 years ago. With MES, Manufacturing Execution System. It is a new technology based with Amazon scripts, dedicated small microservices that are now used. The system is connected to SAP, but give us much more flexibility and also gives us a lot of freedom about also combining SAP also with modern Industry 4.0 solutions that we also introduce in BSH. So this is one of the also biggest change that we are introducing in BSH together with S/4HANA. We also standardize the usage of ICOS claiming tool for quality management. It was also used in our free system, but it was not one standard in BSH. And together with S4, we now also defining as a standard usage of the claiming tool with SAP. We also have one standard release strategy also, which give us assurance that all the production orders that we plan for the production, they have quality release for all the components that are produced, that we are not producing any components that doesn't have any quality release. We also standardize several detailed Q info records to have one standard catalog of releases for our materials that are delivered to the factory. Yeah, some more new features. Also, product audit. We also have a new Fiori applications here. With these Fiori applications is also used by auditors in production. Or even they can use iPhone or tablets to scan the serial numbers of the appliance, and can also define specific approvals also using the iPhone as example. In plant maintenance area, we have also several new Fiori applications, that standard applications we are using from SAP. Example is some applications which are used for plant maintenance orders, for maintenance orders that are also used for production maintenance employee. They can track much more better the hours and costs that are spent for maintenance of the production. We have several new printout forms with new Adobe Forms technology, which replace all the old solutions which are also not up to date, which is now also one standard and also will speed up all the printout processes in BSH. We are using several new Enable Now trainings. These Enable Now trainings are used for the implementation of S/4HANA for the new factories that are on the roadmap, but also for any other purpose. For example, if there is a new employee joining BSH, Also, he can much easy get to know, familiar the processes of BSH. And the last part of the topics are dedicated to from FI and CO world. So we have one Bosch group standard for our accounting processes. We have one standardized group of accounts, and based on the standard of Bosch, and in general, the also implementation of material ledger. This is also a new functionality which from finance and controlling world is implemented together with S4HANA. Yes, so I think that's all from our side. So thank you for your attendance. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.